What's up, everybody? Michael here, and again today with another video. We are going to be talking about the Bears, obviously, and how the media's been pretty much been doubting them lately, saying the most retarded things about them. And I just want to ask, why? Why are the Bears getting that much hate after one bad year? Is it because Trubinsky didn't live up to his expectations in the offseason? As much as I did, he was better than some of the quarterbacks. He was better than Tom Brady last year because I actually saw a stat on that, believe it or not. And Brady, yeah, he's old, but Trubinsky still put up some great numbers. But he did better than Baker, and he did better than Phillip Rivers, and better than Jameis Winston. Baker led the league in interceptions before Jameis Winston. So if I had a gun to my head and I had to choose those three quarterbacks, I choose Mitch Trubisky. Because if you look at the talent that Baker and Phillip Rivers had, they had Keenan Allen, and Baker had Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. It's a Are you just gonna say the Bears passed on Mahomes and Watson? How about the other teams that passed up on him? And if I'm not mistaken, Trubinsky was predicted to be number 1 or number 2. The Browns needed a quarterback, but they took Myles Garrett, so they didn't want to choose Mitch Trubinsky. I actually saw a video about why the Bears picked Trubinsky because they thought he had talent. Because he had an outbreak that his last season in North Carolina where he threw for 30 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. So yeah, they did kind of see talent in him. Yeah, it would have been nice to have Mahomes and Watson, but it kind of makes sense for the reason to pick Trubinsky. Is it because that they didn't live up to their Super Bowl expectations? I can name teams that were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders that missed the playoffs. The Rams, the Browns, who else was a Super Bowl contender before the year started? Either way, not the Seahawks, the Browns, and the Colts were Super Bowl contenders before they lost Andrew Luck, and they missed the playoffs. So, if you only want to troll the Bears and say they should be Super Bowl contenders and not be competing this way, go troll those teams I just mentioned. Is it because the defense was regressing? Yeah, they missed the playoffs, but I actually saw a video about why the defense was looking bad because the defense wasn't looking that because of injuries with Trevathan, Bonal Nichols, and Akeem Hicks out for the season, Roquan Smith, and Prince Anukamara constantly getting burned on CB. I don't really know what the problem is here. The defense still did great. Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs, but they still made a few numbers. And they went 8-8 with a 28 ranked offense, like one of the worst offenses in the league. And still went 8-8 over 500. Yeah, they did better than the teams I can mention right now. Start with the South. They did better than the Falcons. They did better than the Bucks. They even did better than the Panthers. Let's start off with the East. They did better than the Cowboys. They did better than the Giants. And they did better than the Redskins. Should I say Eagles? Yeah, I guess they did better than the Eagles this season. Let's start off with the East. Um, the Cardinals, they did better than the Cardinals. They did better than the. Nah, they didn't do better than the Rams, so I'm just going to say they did better than the Cardinals. Start it. They did better than the Lions, which. Then. Let's start with the AFC. They did better than the Jaguars, which people are comparing them to. They did better than the. They did better than the Colts. They did better than the Dolphins, Jets. They did better than the Steelers, Browns, and Bengals. So, is it why are you just hating on the meat? Why are you just hating on the Bears for no fucking reason at all? I understand, okay? I understand that we didn't live up to the hype. We didn't live up to our expectations coming into this season. I feel like the off season is actually a move. Is it because we have 10 tight ends? Is it because of that? Okay. Okay. It's not going to be an issue because we're going to get rid of the tight ends before the season starts. Okay. And plus, the defense got better. We got Robert Quinn. We got a young, talented CB, Jalen Johnson. They have Gibson, Travis Gibson, and he was a dominant force in college in the University of Tulsa. They also got Travis Gibson to replace Clint Dix. And Eddie Jackson's been moved to free safety where he's most dominant at, so I don't see the problem with the defense. Is it because Khalil Mack didn't have many sacks? Is it because he's overrated? I don't get it. I do not get it. Green Bay had a worse offseason than us, and I don't see people complaining about their moves. They have an injury prone. They didn't even fix their passing, their defense to stop the run. They didn't fix their Balaga issue. They didn't take a wide receiver. They only took Funches, which is he's not that good anymore. And meanwhile, the Bears got their third wide receiver to replace Taylor Gabriel Jr. They got tight end help, which they got Demetrius Harris, Cole Clement, and Jimmy Graham. And no, everybody wants to ignore what Green Bay did this offseason. Okay? They took a backup quarterback in the first round and they traded up when they give Aaron Rodgers a 4-year extension. Green Bay doesn't stand a chance this season. Okay. I'm not going to give you a number, but it's going to be under 10 wins. Okay? But the Bears added Ted Glenn Jr. to replace Taylor Gabriel, and Anthony Miller is going to be number 2. Robinson's going to be number 1. And we have 2 great running backs, which I think Matt Nagy is going to use this year, which are Montgomery and Terry Cohen. We'll probably have Patterson as the fullback. I don't see the problem here. I don't get it. Why the Bears are being doubted this much after one bad season. And all those people are saying that we had an easy schedule last year. Let's look at the teams we beat that season. We beat Minnesota, shut down Dalvin Cook. We beat the NFC championships, the Rams that went to the Super Bowl that year. They beat Green Bay to win the division with a 5-1 record. That doesn't seem like a pretty easy schedule to me because they won the division with a 12-4 record. We went from 3-3 to start off, and then everybody thought it was over. Everybody thought the Vikings were going to take the division until we won 12-4. And plus, I saw someone actually claimed that if Parkey made that kick against Miami, would have had a first-round bye. I think we would have been 14-2 that easily if Parkey nailed that kick, and we didn't. We had Mitch Trubisky that Giants game, which he was out and we lost. Okay, I was upset that game. Okay, everybody wants to ignore the fact that everybody wants to ignore the fact that the Bears had a better offseason than the Packers. Yeah, 10 tight ends. And they added okay, not only that the tight end issue is not going to be a problem because most of them are not even going to make the main roster. And if I'm being honest, they got a Super Bowl MVP to push the quarterback that's apparently being called trash right now. And if Trubisky sees up the joint, oh well, then we'll put in Nick Foles and maybe he'll help us. Trubisky's fifth option's already declined. Chicago has not given up on Trubisky, and you should, Bears fans. I feel like if we give up on Trubisky, we would have done it by now. We would have got like a more veteran, like we would have started. We would have never made the open competition if we gave up on Trubisky. But I still believe in him. I still believe in him. You know, he had a shoulder injury that year, and that was kind of the reason why. And he also said it was because of bad O-line communication. Okay? And they just added new staff, new tight end coach, new O-line coach, and new offensive coordinator and quarterback coach that had lots of success and know what they're doing. And plus, the media is just amazing. I'm already going to throw them in the firing range along with many. But that's it. That's all. Subscribe while you're at it. And always bear down and FTP.